Fubara vows to crush local government poll disruption as Assembly pushes for Rivers election. Kaduna tricycle operators cry foul over steep levies, rogue regulator harassment. Borno Health Ministry confirms cholera outbreak, 17 cases linked to floods. On the foreign scene, 3 U.S. cops convicted in brutal beating, death of black motorist. It's the news update on Trust TV. Hello and welcome. I am Aisha Salihu. The news in detail. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has expressed surprise at the actions of the police in allegedly attempting to invade the premises of the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission to disrupt the planned local government election on Saturday. Speaking during a media briefing at the Government House in Port Harcourt, Governor Fubara on Friday said the move was surprising because he had previously received information indicating that the police intended to withdraw from the local government elections. He questioned why Rivers State is being singled out, especially with what he described as an undue focus on an electoral body that falls under state jurisdiction. Protesters at the RSIEC on Friday insisted that the LG elections must hold. He pointed out that the court ruling from Abuja had only instructed the police not to provide security and not to seal the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission premises or interfere with the elections. According to him, the ruling from the Rivers State High Court should take precedence as it was issued first. He emphasized the importance of conducting the elections in compliance with the Supreme Court's ruling, which the federal government is set to implement. Fubara noted that attempts to obstruct the elections would have far-reaching consequences, particularly on the welfare of local government workers. The governor urged the Inspector General of Police to be ready to take responsibility for any disruptions, warning that any attempt by individuals or groups to stop the elections would be firmly resisted. Fubara reaffirmed that the elections would go ahead as scheduled and the elected officials would be sworn in.
We've been taking enough nonsense from this institution. Everybody is aware of the court judgment, and even the judgment as they call it, the ruling. Did the ruling specify anywhere that the election should not hold? He said, don't give voters register. What are we doing with it? Okay, police, don't provide security. Don't provide security. Is this the same thing as blocking the election? I don't know what the relationship between Inspector General of Police and one person who claims he has so much power in this state. I don't know the relationship because it's beginning to go beyond the normal professional relationship. Lifu, that's that justice that gave that fraudulent judgment. Did he say no election? Rather, it technically said don't provide. We don't need your security. We will provide our own security. After all, it happened in Anambra. Go and work with your security. But this election must hold. If you like whatever it is you want to do, do it. The election will hold, result will be declared. People will be sworn in. I say it here. What kind of a country is it? And when it comes to the issue of Rivers State, it becomes different. You're not ashamed of yourself. You call yourself Inspector General of Police.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough. I will be here. In fact, if I go back and I hear anybody, I will come here. This is my property. And you don't have any power whatsoever to bar me from entering it. Yes. Just try it. That part of your history as a very wicked and fraudulent Inspector General of Police will include shooting Fubara.
Yes.
I think I've given you enough respect. Well, let me say it to all Rivers indigents. Everyone residing in Rivers State, election will hold.
Yes.
Yes. Election will hold. Yes. Anything that wants to happen, let it happen.
Meanwhile, the Rivers State House of Assembly, led by Victor Okojumbo, has called for the local government election scheduled for Saturday to be conducted in adherence with the rule of law and subsisting judgments that enabled the exercise. The Assembly Speaker, Victor Okojumbo, while speaking during plenary on Thursday, said it aligned with the position of the executive arm of government and Governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, in ensuring that a proper constitution of duly elected political leadership at the local government level is a reality in the state. To the 2027 medium-term expenditure framework sent to it by Governor Fubara, Okojambo said Nigeria is guided by the 1999 Constitution and as stipulated in Section 13, all government bodies, officials and private individuals must adhere to and implement the prevailing principles enshrined therein.
The Rivers State House of Assembly further orders that the Rivers State government and the executive governor must conduct elections to the local government councils on the 5th day of October 2024 in compliance with the rule of law and judgment of the courts. In conclusion, we therefore call on the general public to come out en masse on the 5th day of October 2024 and perform their civic duties.
A high court sitting in Doma, the headquarters of Doma local government area of Nasarawa State, has extended its order preventing the People's Democratic Party from conducting its congresses in the state. The court gave the order following a motion filed by 16 members of the party led by Senator Mohammed Ogoshio Nawo. The plaintiffs filed a case against the PDP, its chairman, and the state working committee of the party as the first, second, and third respondents. Justice Abdullahi Shams Shama extended the order in his ruling on Thursday after listening to arguments from counsels to the plaintiffs and respondents, and adjourned the case to Tuesday, October 8, 2014 for continuation of hearing. Justice Cyril Kamiel of Plateau State High Court 8 on Friday granted bail to Samuel Bature, who allegedly published defamatory statement against Governor Caleb Mutfwang. The accused person was arraigned on Tuesday before Justice Kamiel on 3-count charges by the prosecution counsel, who is the Attorney General of the state. According to the clerk of the court, during the arraignment, the statements allegedly published by the defendant are defamatory and cyber stalking, which are contrary to sections 372, 373 of Penal Code Law of Plateau State 2017 and section 24 subsection B of Cybercrime Prohibition Prevention Act 2015. However, on Friday, when the matter came up for hearing, the presiding judge admitted the defendant to bail in the sum of 5 million naira and 2 sureties in like sum after the defendant's counsel pleaded with the judge to give a bench ruling which the prosecution counsel did not oppose. Tricycle riders are decrying what they describe as irregular activities of tax collectors who allegedly harass them on the road. According to the riders, these activities not only disrupt their operations but also endanger the lives of passengers they transport. In this report, Trasives Bello Musa examines the activities of the tricycle riders, popularly known as Keke Napep, as well as the alleged extortion and harassment by some levy and tax collectors in Kaduna metropolis. The report.
The operators of commercial tricycle riders, like any other Nigerian, pay their taxes and levies. However, the activities of suspicious fraudulent tax collectors often disrupt the operations of the tricycle owners. It is mandatory for me to pay tax. However, there are fraudulent tax agents we encounter all the time on the road. Even if we buy government ticket, they will still force us to pay extra. These suspicious elements, as allegedly by the tricycle riders, collect levies and taxes for the union. Aminu Ibrahim is the Kaduna State Chairman of the Tricycle Owners Association. We are aware of these boys on the road, especially at Kakuri, but as a union, we are trying to come together and address the issue. Meanwhile, the activities of fraudulent tax agents is becoming alarming in Kaduna, as many business owners narrate their encounter with the suspicious elements. They came the first time and told me to pay, but at the end, they told me they will be collecting stipends, and as such, I may not necessarily need to pay the real amount. I gave them 2,000 as at then. They often come here, but then I realized they were not genuine agents. So I told them to give me an account number I can use to go and pay in the bank, but they gave flimsy excuses.
Somebody came, this is an invoice given to you that, okay, we are coming back on so date. I called one of my friends that is working in the internal revenue of Kaduna. Told me that no, this agency, this receipt is not this agency that is handling tax matters.
While acknowledging the illegal activities of fraudulent tax agents, Kaduna State Internal Revenue Service says it has the exclusive powers to control, administer, impose, and collect taxes and levies in the state as provided by the Tax Codification and Consolidation Law.
Not a few. A lot of them have been arrested and they are with the police. Some have been sent to the courts for prosecution. And then some of them also are on the run. But this is a cartel. This thing has been ongoing for for a long time, over the years.
The activities of fraudulent tax agents is causing more severe hardship to their victims who are struggling so hard to put food on their table amidst the economic crisis in Nigeria. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
The need to improve Nigeria's informal sector to ensure that the approximately 88% of Nigerians who operate in unstructured business environments get the required support for business growth has been emphasized. Some Lagos residents who stated this while speaking with Trust TV on their working conditions, particularly small business owners, advanced the need for government support in accessing loans to grow their small businesses. Victoria Tokolo has more in this report.
Majority of Nigerians, approximately 88%, are engaged in the informal sector such as farming and also cooperate in unstructured environments, often due to lack of formal training. In many cases, these entrepreneurs didn't originally choose this path, but were compelled to do so due to factors such as layoffs from previous jobs. Faced with such situations, they were created opportunities for themselves and have eventually started to thrive. To enhance productivities, stakeholders says it is important for these business owners to unlearn outdated practices and embrace new skills by engaging in contract learning and development. An economist, Oladipo Ajayi, believes that if the informal sector is stifled, the nation risks driving many people back to unemployment, placing a heavier burden on the government.
Imagine farmers that actually produce cocoa, but they don't know how to actually move from more like just a raw material to more like a finished product, or find a way to actually export this product outside the country so as to improve our effect generating capacity. So government needs to work with this, and government needs to actually create a forum where they can actually get feedback from some of these people. You need to understand what they're actually going through, what is the problem, and how to actually help them solve some of these problems.
Some Lagos residents engaged in unstructured business environments advocated greater government support for small businesses.
Try and empower all this small scale business. If they empower them, it will go a long way to solve their problem and help the economy to grow. So they have to create a kind of soft loan to all these small business entrepreneurs, so that they can build up their business very well. So if government is able to at least reduce the price of fuel, it will be okay for these companies, because even where I work, these are the issues they have, and most times the electricity is not there. Imagine the cost of diesel. Having issues with this unemployment of our graduates, those who are fresh from the university. Look at me. I work in the bank and I was retired when I was least expected. I was retired. I got a job as an accountant somewhere. They retired me again. They said I'm old enough. I cannot work in that company. Now I'm now doing my own personal business. My daughter was just reached from university. No job for her. She is now helping her mother to sell in the shop. Government problem, tax is worrisome.
They urge the Nigerian government to place greater emphasis on vocational trainings for youths, while also providing opportunities for those who cannot afford formal education to acquire specific skills as a way to help develop the nation's economy.
And to more stories. The Kano State government has announced plans to tackle the issue of accumulated refuse at the Yan Lemo market in the state. This follows a report by Trust TV on the refuse, which had become a source of concern for traders in the market. Following the report, the Director of Operations at the State Refuse Management and Sanitation Board, Ibrahim Nasser, announced that the board will collaborate with the market authorities to tackle the issue.
That point you shown to us is an illegal waste collection point inside the market, but the legal one, the authorized collection waste collection point is the one that is along Zaria Road. Definitely we'll call them, because already the damage has been done to the markets and it is affecting even the quality of the products that they are producing. So definitely we will call them to the office, we'll sit down and we will find a lasting solution to the problems. But notwithstanding, definitely we will not attend this legal and illegal dumping site. Definitely the collection point must be one for easy evacuation.
Truck drivers play a significant role in Nigeria's interstate business supply chain, as companies and businesses rely on their services to transport goods across the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria. In addition to the hazardous nature of their job, the truckers struggle to operate amidst poor road networks and other infrastructural deficits in different parts of the country. Trust TV's Ibrahim Ismail examines the routine and challenges of truck drivers in the Gwagwalada area of the FCT and files in this report.
This is one of the major convergence points for truck drivers in Gwagwalada Local Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. 32-year-old Abdulaziz Muhammad warms up his truck ahead of the next trip. This practice is a morning routine to check the status of the vehicle, which also serves as his room. Abdulaziz shared his experience as a truck driver plying Nigerian highways.
I like the job. I like when I'm driving gently like this, to go and offload, come back safe and load again. So what I'm achieving, I thank God for that. I'm achieving something, I'm achieving. For example, from Obajana, Maiduguri or Kanu, like this, it's not a small journey. So all your shoulder, all these things.
Wherever they are, truckers are known for creating an economic hub. As such, their presence here improves revenue generation for small businesses operating around this informal truck parking lot.
The truckers buy diesel from us and we are happy. They buy between 3 to 5 jerrycans daily, especially those who runs out of diesel.
We sell more when the truckers are here. We use almost a bag of flour to prepare nwake, a local delicacy.
wataran kuma yana ragewa.
The truck drivers play a critical role in the Nigerian economy as they transport goods from different parts of the country, especially from north to south and vice versa. But this Herculean task comes with multiple challenges such as insecurity and others.
Last day before yesterday, I'm attacked by kidnappers, but God saved me. So the distance between the checkpoint and the kidnappers are not much. They are seeing each other. We run, go meet soldiers for the checkpoint. We tell them, see what is happening for this very place. They are seeing the place. What the soldier man tell me that, am I the one that will teach him his work?
What I want the government to do is let them take responsibility for the illegal people that are still on the roads. Like in the night, there are some illegal policemen, army men that are still on the road. They have to take action on them.
These heavy trucks behind me have covered a distance of at least 500 meters on the edge of this highway. Parking heavy trucks by the roadside can be very dangerous because it could lead to accident at some point. But this is the norm in Gwagwalada Local Council of the FCT. It is a big challenge affecting the operations of the truck drivers.
In a week, at times we do have more than 300 trucks parked in Gwagwalada, even 500 at times. And most of them, they don't have any alternative where to park. That is why it became mandatory that they have to park and damage that fender of the road, and government is not paying attention to it.
According to the Truck Drivers Union, building a modern trailer park in Gwagwalada Local Council of the FCT will ease their operations, improve government revenue and create job opportunities. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And in business, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has flagged 272,500 barrels per day of crude oil through a series of crude for loan deals totaling $8.86 billion. By pledging 272,500 barrels daily, it means that about 8.17 million barrels of crude will be used for different loan deals by the national oil firm on a monthly basis. This is according to an analysis of a report by the Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative and the NNPC's financial statements. Under these deals, notable projects include Project Panther, Project Bison, Project Eagle Export Funding, Project Yield, and Project Gazelle. According to findings, NNPC has already fully repaid $2.61 billion in loans, representing 29.4% of the total credit facility, while $6.25 billion or 70.6% remains outstanding. And to developments on the foreign scene, former officer on trial over the brutal beating to death of a black motorist was found guilty of civil rights offenses Thursday in United States federal court. In contrast, 2 others were convicted of witness tampering. All 3 were cleared of the most serious charge they faced, which would have held them responsible for the death of 29-year-old Tyre Nichols. However, they still face long prison sentences up to 20 years after the felony convictions. Still on the foreign scene, the head of the United Nations Office to the African Union on Wednesday briefed the Security Council on the cooperation between the UN and regional organizations, including the African Union. The permanent observer of the AU to the United Nations, Fatima Kyari Mohammed, said the Council was pleased with the increased involvement of the bloc of 3 elected African members of the United Nations Security Council. Mohammed reiterated Africa's demand for a better representation of the Council. She said, the African Union anticipates practical steps, including the initiation of text-based intergovernmental negotiations to prioritize Africa in the reform of the UN Security Council. Earlier in the day, some members of the Council underscored the importance of cooperation in troubled times and made a case for focus on prevention and resilience building. The AU welcomes the deepening of the partnership between the African Union and the United Nations on climate, peace and security.
The African Union anticipates practical steps, including the initiation of text-based intergovernmental negotiations to prioritize Africa in the reform of the UN Security Council.
We need to focus on prevention and resilient building. This involves increasing efforts towards sustainable development, as well as collaborative and inclusive multi-stakeholder action, including with women and youth-led organizations. Conflict-sensitive climate adaptation, mitigation, finance and resilience actions can be an important lever for peace building. We therefore welcome the deepening of the partnership between the African Union and the United Nations on climate, peace and security.
And in sports, Ahmed Musa and Shehu Abdullahi trained with Kano Pillars on Thursday ahead of this weekend's Nigeria Premier Football League Match Day 5 encounter against Sunshine Stars. Kano Pillars will entertain the Awena Waves at the Muhammadu Dikko Stadium on Sunday. Musa has been clubless since leaving Turkish Super League club Sivasspor early this year. And that concludes the news update on Trust TV at this hour. Do not forget, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs and documentary. I am Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for watching.